Hey everybody, welcome to Morphin Grid. I feel like I stuttered, but I'm Josh.
I'm Jake.
I didn't mean stuttered, I meant mumbled. This week, or
You
today...
didn't do either.
I thought I did that, but I didn't.
Nope.
Well, now we're here. So anyway, this week or today, I don't know if we're doing 2 a week yet.
This will be a 2 a week because it's a two-parter. So we're definitely going to do 2 this week.
All right, so today, we're watching episode 28, Island of Illusion Part 1, and then Friday of this week,
We'll be doing Part 2.
we'll be talking about Part 2.
So, quick disclosure. We are recording this. Normally we record in batches. We do like 2 at a time. And it would be really convenient if we had the time to do 2 today. But we don't. So we're just doing 1. And then the next time we get to record, we're going to do Island of Illusion Part 2. And then The Rockstar, according to the TV. I have no idea what that one's about.
Me either.
I only really remember Island of Illusion Part 2. But anyway, and so instead of being able to do 2 in a row and like have it be kind of conjoined, I guess is the word I'm looking for, there's going to be a weird disconnect wherein we don't remember anything that happens in Part 1 the next time we record. Because we're very dumb. We are very dumb guys. And that's just a thing that you have to live with as our listeners. Also, this aired on November 2nd, 1993. I feel like I should get that out of the way now.
Cool.
I have nothing else to report on. Oh, the episode, just so you know how far ahead we are, the episode that just aired as of this recording is episode 25.
Yes.
So we're going to be, that might be 3 weeks ago for you.
It
probably will be 3 weeks ago.
Probably will be, because we just can't get a good day where we can knock 3 out, which is just as far ahead as I want to be for us to start doing 2 a week again.
Right, yeah. So if you're new here, how's it going, guys? What's up? Welcome to the podcast. I'm Jake, remember?
What did you start to do?
I started trying to jump into the episode that we haven't watched yet, because I thought that's how we led into watching the episode. But that's not. Again, we're very dumb.
This is a bad day.
We're
dumb anyway, but this is especially bad.
It's really hot. I can't turn the AC on because it'll ruin the podcast.
All right, let's motor through it then.
Okay, if you're new here, what we do is we stop this recording, we watch an episode of Power Rangers, then we come back and we talk about it, and you get to listen to that. You lucky devil, you. So, without any further ado,
it's Morphin time!
And we're back. That was probably really loud, and I apologize. We just watched Island of Illusion Part 1.
Post.
I can, or I won't, because fiddling with audio is not something that I like. It's something that I used to have to do a lot when we had garbage mics, but now we don't have that problem. And sometimes there's like crackle for a second, and I don't even try to do anything about it. I just leave it in because I know it'll go away within a second. So, you guys, if you plan on starting a podcast, save $250.
Yeah.
And then email me, and I will send you literally the links to all the stuff that we own to podcast with, because it's great stuff compared to the 2 garbage USB mics we were using before.
The only downside is that we're both on the same track.
Yes.
So if you talk over your friends a lot, cut out.
Yeah, stop it.
Stop it. We stopped it, sort of.
Sort of. Anyway, so a place you can find us on the internet before we start. morphingrid.tumblr.com, littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, @morphingrid on Twitter. And we're on iTunes. Just type in the Morphin G, and we'll be the only thing that pops up.
I'm pretty sure just if you type in the morph.
No, there's other stuff.
Or morphin. The morphin space might be
enough.
Might be enough.
Either way, find us on iTunes. Leave us a rating review if you feel like. It helps the algorithm. We get featured more. More people learn about it. More people listen to it. Everybody goes home happy. Because then you have a bunch of cool potential friends.
Do you want people to not be happy just because you didn't rate us? I don't think you want that.
I mean, it seems a little selfish, and I don't feel like you're selfish people.
No, I don't think so.
So So maybe just leave a rating and review
Yeah.
if you feel like it.
You'll do it. I have faith in you.
Yeah. You guys are cool.
Let's talk about the episode.
Yeah.
Island of Illusion Part A.
Part A. Part
And then Part 2 is later.
Yes. So, before we talk about the episode, like, blow by blow, I literally did not remember a single thing about this half of Island of Illusion. I know most of the stuff that's going to happen in Part 2, I think. But I did not, with the exception of the very end, I was like, none of that is a thing. I don't remember a lot of the stuff that happened.
Everything I remember is from them on the island, and I thought that was all from Part 2. So I don't remember Part 2 basically at all.
So you
I mean, I
remember
remember them winning.
Right, well, yeah, but
like,
just the idea of them winning, not exactly the specifics of what they do.
I know they...
Do they use the Megazord?
I feel like... I'm going to call it now. I'm
Okay.
predicting that they use the Ultrazord to blow up Loki. Or Lokar.
Lokar. No Lokar.
Lowrider.
Okay, so we start the episode with Zach just dancing. Just he puts a cassette in a cassette player, a boombox style cassette player, and then he just starts shuffling his feet like a really cool grandpa.
Way better than I ever could.
Yeah, like that's why I said cool grandpa, because it's a little grandpa-like, but I'm like, no, because when I'm old, I'm not going to dance anyway.
It's a very flashy grandpa.
It's not my grandpa. My grandpa doesn't have any time for that. So, turns out there's a dance contest coming up that Zach is preparing for, and for some reason, he lacks confidence.
Well, he was doing fine. Right, he's dancing. Got his
Bolt came
big
over.
Zach smile on. You know, doing a little... I'm dancing.
Josh is dancing.
It's awful. Don't worry about it.
Air
Just
quotes, dancing.
be happy you can't see us. Yeah, then Bulk comes in. I don't know what he's like, oh, you're going to lose, I bet, or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, nerd, you can't dance, even though he very clearly can dance.
Yeah,
very
and then he,
well.
like... And then Zach, like, looks at him and kind of goes, oh.
And he trips.
He does, like, a spin move, but falls toward Kimberly, which causes her to throw her Slurpee all over Bulk.
Yeah, Bulk gets smoothied, and then immediately it's like West Side Story. Like, he's like, oh, you may be able to dance, but I'm going to make you lose, or something. It's something.
Yeah.
It's something weird. It's like a threat, but a really poorly conceived one, because I don't know what exactly he's trying to get across. Like, because the threats are most effective when you either like explain what you're going to do, or like it's obvious enough that like like the threat of a thing happens. But I'm gonna make you lose a dance contest. I don't know how Bulk can do that, because if he interferes, I feel like that'd just be a restart type thing.
They would eject him, and then Zach
Yeah.
could just start over.
So I don't know what the
and dance very well until he just stops because he's sad or whatever.
because he can't believe in himself anymore. Then we jump up to the moon, where Rita is like, time to bring out the big guns, because I guess she's just sick of it. She's just sick of these kids. Zach is dancing. That ain't gonna fly. Not up in here. Not in Club Bandora. No one dances like that at Club Bandora.
No.
It's all
They're all kind of scared.
It's all Russian jigs. That's the only way you're allowed to dance there. Robert Evans would be a killer in that one. So yeah, she's making like a lot of weird threats about like the big guns, and she mentions Lokar. I think this is the first time she mentions Lokar.
Definitely.
Who I think that's the name of Divatox's nephew in Turbo.
Is it? I don't.
Maybe it's Lothar.
Is that the weird? I can't talk like this. That one. It's like the bald conehead.
Yeah, he's a bald conehead. I don't think he talks like that at all.
He has the. No, it's not like that. That was awful. I don't know what I'm doing. But he has like the same voice as Rito Revolto.
Yeah. Yeah. It is
his
very
name
similar.
Lokar?
I don't know, and I'm not gonna look it up because I want that to like seed, and then once we get to Turbo, I'll be like, oh, it's this.
It's Jeff.
It's yeah. Like I was trying to remember Troy's name. It was like Jaden or Jordan or Troy. So then we go back down to the juice bar, and I want to point out, from being from a film background, I noticed these things. They are shooting differently this episode. The lighting is all weird. Not like weird in a weird way, if that makes any sense. Like weird in a different way. It's not like as flat as it usually is, because normally when you light TV, you're just like, make everything visible.
Right.
It's darker. Like the lighting is darker, even though it's daytime.
Right.
And like it's not like there's nothing like sinister going on outside. It's just like the lighting is different, and it also looks.
I noticed that post earthquake. I didn't really pick up on it before, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there.
Yeah, it's not like noticeable, but like for someone like me who like picks up on differences like that, like it looks like they might be using like a different lens or something. Like it's weird. I like the way this one looks compared to the rest of the ones, like the normal way that it looks.
Right.
Like I just like because it has a little more depth to it. Like it looks prettier, I guess. Tommy is teaching a class of two kids. He's teaching them martial arts, obviously. And I guess today's lesson is don't use it to be a jerk.
Right.
Which is like the number one tenet of karate. It's self-defense only.
Yeah.
And so he does like a little demonstration of like, someone goes to punch you, defend yourself this way. And he's like, no, you're in control of the situation. No one gets hurt. And I was like, this is a really neat lesson for kids to learn.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I feel like it might have been a little better if there was more than two people in the class.
Yeah.
Could they only rent 2 children that day?
The whole thing is weird. I don't know.
It sets up something later.
But still, like, there's still only 2 kids.
Right.
Like,
and he later he specifically says my students. So this is a class.
It could have been 5 kids. And it still would have been fine. Like,
yeah.
More kids wouldn't have made it any different.
Right. It's not like having 2 kids is like the secret.
It's not like Rita's going to take them and turn them into 2 monsters.
Right, yeah.
They're just going to hang out with Ernie.
So then this takes place at the same time as the end of the Bulk Zach confrontation.
They have like a dance-off.
Is that... Yeah, but like right before the dance-off, before we go to the moon, when he's like, I'm going to make you lose. I feel like that takes place at the exact same time as this karate lesson.
Then it like cuts to Tommy.
Because then it kind of syncs up afterwards with the dance thing.
Right.
And it's like intricate storytelling. This episode is very strange in a lot of ways. This is not like a regular episode of Power Rangers. Like, it looks different. There's a lot of weird, intricate storytelling techniques going on.
It felt like it was 50 minutes long.
It felt like an hour-long episode of another show. Like, it gets kind of Hercules at the end. Hercules: The Legendary Journeys. Like, it kind of feels like that because of the island. Did you ever watch Hercules?
Not enough to think that a show feels like it.
It just felt like it for a second.
All right.
But like,
I respect that.
It feels long. It's only 22 minutes, but it feels really long.
It does, because like you said while we were watching it, that the pacing is really weird, and I think that has a lot to do with it, because it should have split when they got sent to the island, but instead we get like 5 minutes of them on the island,
and so it feels like a new episode.
Yeah,
but not, because it's still part of the same episode. The pacing of it is a frantic crawl. Like, there's a lot going on, but not quickly. Not quickly. Like, it all happens, but at a pace. And I think the thing, and it's happened before in one of the earlier episodes, and we talked about it then. I don't know which one. But it cuts back and forth to the moon a lot, and I think when it does that, it like resets my internal clock on how long we've been watching the episode. So like more than like 2 or 3 before the monster shows up, and I'm like, how long is this episode? We've gone to the moon 1,000,000 times. We might as well rent a condo on the moon because we live there now. Back to the episode. Bulk and Zach are doing a dance-off. And Zach's like, fine. He's just doing like... I thought it was going to start a fight. Because like, it looks like Bulk wants to punch him. And then Zach goes, nope, instead dance.
And then he doesn't just dance, but he does like hip-hop keto.
Yeah, like he's about to beat up Bulk with dancing.
Yeah. It's kind of like, we could fight, but this is what you would have to deal with.
Right, yeah. And so Bulk counters that by dancing
So Bulk answers by mimicking him poorly.
Yeah.
Is the sentence I'm trying to get out of my brain.
He does this, like, the only one that I caught, because I was writing notes during most of it, he does this jump splits.
Yep.
And it's so quick that it's really impressive that Paul Schreier did that. Because, like, he jumps up and splits and then goes back to normal real quick. It's not like a full splits. But
no.
But I can't
Zach,
do a full
did you see Zach do it?
No.
He jumped about as high as me.
Did he?
It was nuts.
Walter Jones, man. He is super athletic and has great abs, as we established in the last episode that aired, I think.
Yeah.
He is very good. He's one of, like, him and Kimberly are the two that, like, had acting backgrounds, and so
which is funny because he's not really good at acting scared.
I think he's great at acting scared because it's consistent.
That's true.
So, like, Zach has a specific way that he is scared.
He reverts to terrified 4-year-old.
It's open your mouth really wide, stare it straight in the face, and scream. That's how he gets scared. But, like, I think by having that acting background, he's able to, like, balance the dancing / karate stuff with his character.
Yeah.
So it's not like when Billy fights. Like, Billy doesn't fight like a nerd. When he fights, that's probably a bad example. Actually, now that I think about it, they're all pretty good at being their character.
Yeah, because Billy fights evasively.
Yeah,
like you can see him crunching numbers on if I duck now, he'll
right.
hit
Yeah,
that
he's
one.
doing like trigonometry and statistics and stuff. So maybe that's an invalid thought that
and Trini has Chinese kung fu power or whatever.
She's a murder weapon.
Yeah,
she's basically a murder weapon. She takes out a putty really cleverly later in the episode.
In this episode?
Yeah.
I must have blinked and missed it.
It was quick because she's effective. So anyway, so they're dancing, and then Bulk does something that causes him to, like, stumble backwards.
Zach does that spin move that he screwed up earlier. I think it was something similar to that, but he does like a triple one, and then, like, Bulk goes to do it, and instead he just spins around until he falls into a bunch of columns.
There's just a bunch of pillars. What? Are these part of the dance contest?
We'll find out, maybe.
I guess.
At the end of part 2.
Because normally when there's, like, a weird, big, dumb set piece, it's because there's, like, a event going on at the juice bar. Unless these were, like, leftover.
But this one is just so they can use the bowling pin sound effect.
Yeah, it's weird. Speaking of sound effects, there was a really... You guys all know the Bulk and Skull theme.
That's the one.
That's it. I know, it felt like you were there, right? And it blends in. Like, when they show up, it goes from, like, the music that Zach is dancing to, which is the music he always dances to. He has a dance track that he is, because it's the same one that he uses when he's, like, when he's teaching the hip hop keto class.
Yep.
It's the same one he uses way earlier in the season. But, like, he has a one dance track.
It's like his theme song. It's like,
yeah. Yeah, but they blended it right into the Bulk and Skull theme song really well as soon as they showed up.
All these little things that I don't pick up on. That's why you're the play-by-play guy.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of auditory cues because I'm usually writing notes, so I miss a lot of visual stuff. But anyway, I really hope we find out why those pillars are there, and they're not just like, cuz that sound effect. But they go, see, Zach, look, you beat him. And Zach goes, no, he just tripped up, which is what I'm going to do at the dance card. Like, he immediately, all of his confidence, like, drips out of him.
Because Bulk was doing so well before that.
Right. I get that it has to set up.
If Bulk can mess up, it can happen to anybody, even me.
What should have happened was, instead of Bulk, it should have been Skull. And Jason Narvi should have, like, tore it up.
Right.
And then Zach could have been like, oh crap, Alpha.
Oh no!
What are we going to do? Instead of, like, that guy is too goofy, I'm going to lose. Like, it's a really weird disconnect. It serves a purpose.
It sets up the theme of the episode.
Yeah.
Or the episode, the arc.
The arc.
Because it's multi-episode.
Yeah, it sets up, like, the problem that's going to occur at the end of this. But it's a weird way to do it.
But by the end of this episode, like, his problem isn't even that.
It's just that his problem becomes that he has no more confidence. That it all leaked out. He sprung a leak and no one fixed it, and now all of his confidence is dripping all over the place.
Where's Angela when you need her?
Well,
that would have made it worse.
That would not help.
That would have made it worse.
Go back to your tomb, tut.
Ouch.
Ice cold, Angela is. Anyway, then we go back up to Rita doing that chanting.
Saying the spell.
Saying the spell. It's a different spell.
But it's the same footage.
But it's the same footage, and it's is it the same footage from the last time she did
One
this?
of them is. Maybe not this one.
Because the
one when she summons Lokar is the same footage, but she used different language that still matched the mouth.
Yeah. I like this technique where it's like we don't have to think of real words, just make up sounds to match this. Because obviously Pandora is saying something in Japanese. Probably.
Yeah, I imagine.
And then, so instead of just being like, oh, imagine that or whatever, like she's just like, who knew, and like it works. I think it works for a space witch spell.
Row your boat. Or Rochambeau, because there's kind of a sh sound.
Rochambeau. And she's talking about Lokar the Terrible. Now we still don't get to see Lokar.
No.
And then we go back down to Earth, where there is an earthquake because of her summoning Lokar. And unlike the last time there was an earthquake 2 episodes ago,
which was her. No, summoning Scorpino was before that, which also caused an earthquake.
I get that they're in California. Tectonic plates are weird over there. Maybe magic somehow affects tectonic plates in a way that makes an earthquake. Because I can't think of another reason why the whole Earth would shake. Just because she was doing a spell on the moon, which is literally 1,000,000 miles away. Like,
I don't think it's that far.
It's pretty far.
I don't think it's 1,000,000. It's in the thousands. I don't think it's 1,000,000.
I want to look it up.
Look it up.
Here, I'll even ask Siri.
No, don't do that.
Siri, how far away is the moon?
I don't know where the moon is.
Let me think about that.
Is that it?
The distance from the Earth to the moon is about 230,000 miles.
230,000 miles. I was only
less than a quarter.
I was only 75% off. That's the first time Siri has ever answered my question. Ever.
We should ask her questions on the podcast more often. She performs well under pressure.
Yeah. So the Earth starts quaking, and Kimberly immediately goes, "Oh my God, this has to be Rita."
Oh my God, you guys, it must be Rita.
It must be Rita. That was surprisingly accurate. This is a weird thing that the Power Rangers do.
This is what I thought she was going to do when she walked into that classroom and her spinning wheel was gone. I thought she was immediately going to go, "Oh, it must be Rita."
Because sometimes
Zordon, warp me to the moon.
I gotta get my grandma's
I'm a cut a girl. I can't say the.
Yeah, no, I know what you want to say. Snitches get stitches. Like, half the time, they will blame things that admittedly are Rita, but could be something else on Rita.
Because they're in California. It could just be an earthquake.
Earthquakes happen. I've experienced one. It was only the one. There might have been smaller ones that I didn't really notice.
Right.
But one of them was in a mall and it made the floor bounce, as I've talked about on the podcast. It felt like a bouncy castle in a mall. That's not a good feeling. So, like, I didn't go, "Oh God, a space witch must do this." God. Then again, I haven't.
My arch enemy, is that it again?
I haven't had as much trouble with space witches as the Power Rangers have.
That's true.
So,
both fortunately and unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. True. It's give and take on that one. But then, like, things like her spinning wheel is missing, and there's nobody else in the school.
And who's gonna steal
a spinning wheel? How can someone steal a spinning wheel? It's huge. Like, you need several people to make sure nothing goes awry with it, or else you'll be stealing a bunch of splinters. Like,
splinter.
Earthquake has to be Rita. Everyone evacuates because in 1993, get there in a second.
We'll get there.
In 1993, they didn't teach you how to prepare for an earthquake, I guess.
Oh, you just duck and cover.
Yeah.
Under a table or a
desk.
Yes,
because here's the thing. They say be in a doorway. That's like one of the big things. Mm-hmm. The problem is the the number one cause of injuries during an earthquake is from people in doorways when the door slams on them. So, like, if you have an archway, get under that. If you have a doorway, close the door and, like, brace against it, but don't just leave it open. The earth is shaking. Number 2 is things falling on your head. Because...
You don't want that.
Yeah. So you want to just, like, get under a table, of which there are plenty in this juice bar.
Yeah.
Instead, they run outside, which is, you know... where the earthquake is happening. Like, there's no foundation outside to keep the thing you're in to, you know, from... Plus, there's people in cars panicking. Don't run outside during an earthquake.
Idiot.
What are you doing? So they're all running out, and then the 2 kids at Tommy's class is like, oh, good, we're scared. And so Tommy,
they were under a table.
They were under a table. They were prepared for an earthquake, and... So Tommy's like, I can't leave my students because they were scared about it, but they were doing the right thing. So he's like, oh,
but he's
here.
like, he's responsible for them. He's the only one who's like responsible for kids right now because the other ones are just watching Zach practice.
Right. So he stops to go there, which is cool because now there's a reason Tommy's not at the beginning of the fight.
Right.
You know, because the footage will demand that. The reason that Bukai? It's not Barai. I want to call him Boomy, but I know it's not Boomy. The reason that Barai can't be, like, doesn't show up until, like, later in every fight is because he's, like, this is a Z Ranger counterpart, by the way.
Yes.
In case you didn't know what we were talking about. Is because his power is killing him, so, like, he can't use it often. So that's why Tommy can only use it at the end of an episode to save everybody, because... the footage only lets him, you know, have so much leeway. And the weird thing about this is this will change later because we'll get footage that is new to us. It's exclusive to us. But Tommy still can't be there for everything, which is really weird.
It's because at that point the precedent is
set.
Tommy is the win button.
Right. So we go back up to the moon for like the 100th time this episode. And Rita's still casting the same spell.
Well, didn't the first spell summon Skinless Frankenstein? Whose name is Tato or something?
That's going to happen in the next one.
Okay.
Because this spell is apparently twofold. It, number 1, summons not Lord Satan. What's his name? Lokar. His name is, by the way, Lord Satan in Z Ranger.
Yes.
Which is a great bad guy name, but also a very Japanese bad guy name, and something that moms in America
would probably have a problem
probably
with.
would not like their kids. Even though they're fighting Lord Satan. Come on, lighten up, lady.
Right, they're going to kill him.
Yeah.
They're going to beat Lord Satan.
Lord Satan, doesn't everyone want to beat Lord Satan? If there's any Christian moms listening to this, don't worry about it. This happened 20 years ago. We're cool. She's still casting the same spell. And then Goldar's like, I will send putties to distract the Power Rangers. I will make it hail putties.
That is what he said.
Yeah. But then, like, just 11 putties fight them. It's just like a normal amount of putties. None of them fall. I would have loved it to hail putties. That would have been great.
Just hundreds of putties falling from the sky.
I guess Zach ran away before the earthquake.
He left. He said, I'm going to trip up at the thing. When? And then he left.
And so then they catch up with Zach immediately. So I guess there's no footage of the 4 of them and not Gushi? Gushi, because Geki is Red Ranger.
Yes. Then there's Dan,
Boy,
and
May. The rest of them are pretty standard fare, especially Dan.
Dan. Just Dan now, Dad.
Dan. So, I wrote, 2 kids are glued to the floor, I guess, because they couldn't run away. They were too scared to move.
No, they were just doing the right thing.
They were just, but then, now I realize they were just doing what they were taught. Their parents must be scientists, I guess.
Or they just had that class.
Right, because they're teenagers. They haven't had one in like 5 years.
Right.
So
they
anyway,
just default to flight.
Right, so they find Zach, Power Rangers do. Sans Tommy.
No, they did talk to Zordon. I remember because this thing was shaking, and Jason was like, "Oh, Zordon! Oh my God, come in!"
It's like, yeah, and they're like, Rita's doing something crazy.
He's like, "She's summoning a power I don't even know."
It's so big. You're all gonna die.
Bye.
But then, like,
So they run to Zach.
okay, hold on, pause before we get to Zach, because Zordon said it's like a power that even I don't know, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Like, okay, number one, he has a channel that's just Rita. We know this. We've established this. We spent 27 episodes establishing this. 26, because Zordon was not in one episode. Maybe two. Anyway, there's been plenty of episodes where we have shown that Zordon knows exactly what Rita's doing at this time that she does it. Now, if she would have not said any names, maybe then he'd be like, I don't recognize this language. I don't know what she's doing. This is a strange power. But they straight up say, we're going to summon Lokar the Terrible. So can't he just do like a Google search in the... Like, there's so many computers. One of them has to have like Lokar. He's a bad dude. His head looks like
He's
like
just
a
a big
porcupine.
head.
He's a big ice porcupine. So maybe Zordon's lying. Zordan is lying to them.
Or maybe he just doesn't know what a Lokar the Terrible is.
That seems unreasonable, I think, at this point. But maybe you're right. So anyway, they find Zach, and putties immediately hail on them.
Well, they run up to Zach before the putties come in. They're like, "Oh, Zach, Rita's planning something huge," but he still looks like he's about to cry from earlier. And then the putties just jump in. Like, he has no emotion on his face except trying not to cry.
Just picturing him.
Because Bulk did bad at dancing.
He's bad and I am too. I caught his bad. Maybe he just watched Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Because I try hard not to cry during that show. And it doesn't always work. Also, before we do the putty attack, we're going to do what was Kimberly wearing this episode? Yeah. I need to find a sound clip for it. I know it's a little late in the game, but like, we got plenty more Kimberly episodes.
Yeah. That's good. It's fine.
I'll just cut and paste that every time. So she's wearing a pink vest, mom jeans, and Doc Martens. This is a fashion statement if I have ever seen one. I wish more moms nowadays wearing mom jeans would also have Doc Martens, because those are like the quintessential punk boots now. Like Paige wrestles in Doc Martens.
Does she?
Yeah.
I just thought they were wrestling boots.
No, they're Doc Martens.
Well, shoot.
Putty's attack, and there is at least one cool move from everybody. Kimberly's is like blocking two putties and then split kicking them to death. Don't remember Billy's. Trini is what I was talking about earlier. Trini does a splits on the ground, then grabs the hand of one of them, wraps her legs from a splits around the putty's leg, both of them, and then yanks the putty to the ground onto his head and kills them. And it happens in like 1 second. It is nuts.
Uncle Howard is a trained assassin.
Yeah.
He's passing that on to his niece.
Turns out Mask Man Yellow is a girl, so he wasn't Mask Man Yellow.
Oh.
Mask Man Yellow.
What about Jetman Yellow?
That was the bird people?
Anything that came before this one.
There was a lot of yellow dudes before this. Sort of. They were yellow, but they also weren't. I want to get the
What
footage.
about Jacquaqua Yellow?
I don't think there was a yellow one.
No, because they were just card suits.
Yeah. They had like a color associated with them because
And there was the CMYK Ranger.
Yeah, it was red, pink, green, and blue,
Uh,
and then CMYK. Then we go back up to the moon for the 5,000th time, where she's finally finishing the spell that she started. In actuality, 3 minutes ago, but what feels like 100 days ago. I feel like she's been casting this spell since the day I was born.
since the pilot episode
Yeah.
of Power Rangers.
And the spell ends with two things happening. One, like lightning strikes her astronomy room observatory thing. That's a weird spell. Like, I feel like if I was casting a spell, maybe I would avoid the ones that shoot me with lightning. But what do I know about space magic? And the other thing it does is create a giant skinless Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Remember Frankenstein from the last two episodes? No, the episode before last, and then the one before that. Yeah, Life's a Masquerade, and then Gung Ho. Even though he wasn't technically in Gung Ho, he was there, but he wasn't supposed to be. It was that because he had the same weapon.
Yep. He had the big bolts
he
coming
had
out of
bolts
his
coming
neck.
out of his
And
neck.
I'm very sure that it's the same, not episode maybe, but the same arc.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I feel like Power Rangers could have benefited from following the arc of the Sentai, but not then.
Right.
Like in 1993, that might have been too complicated for kids.
Right.
But now, like,
Because this is all hacked up. 'Cause
yeah,
Lord Satan is part of like the end of Zero Ranger.
yeah, like he's like the last. He summons the Doomsday guy. It's like whatever Cyclops' analog is, and so like I don't know. It's weird because like there's clearly at least 3 episodes in this arc. The first like 4 episodes are like one big episode for Zero Ranger.
Yeah.
Because we watched at least 5, and I think the first 3 are like boom, boom, boom. So like I feel like if we could take all the footage from Zero Ranger and make a new show using it, it would benefit from following those things. Like we could see why Frankenstein doesn't have any skin now, as opposed to this is a bad guy whose only name I can recall is Ugly Man, because that's what Jason calls
I
him.
want to say that he is like
Thomas.
Rita calls him something that starts like Tokar
Tokar. No Tokar.
or Tomba.
Oh, you remember Tomba?
Yeah, Tomba.
PlayStation game?
Oh, PlayStation.
So it's some weird stuff, and I understand like having them just straight up say that's Frankenstein, but without the skin might be a little too dark for
Right.
kids, because their target audience was like 4 to 12.
I was in second grade.
I was 4 years old when it.
So-
I was 4 years old when I started watching this.
I would have been 7 or 8,
Yeah,
depending on when it was.
right.
Year.
I
Whatever.
think you would have been 7 at the time.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
So until like the second half of the season,
Right. Then I would turn 8.
Then you would turn 8.
And then
I would still be 4 because I was 4 for that whole part. But anyway, enough about our ages when we were younger.
we're dumb guys.
We're so dumb. We're so dumb.
We haven't even gotten any morph stuff yet, and we're almost at 53 minutes.
We are 1 second away from morphing, right? Because they fight the putties again. There's more putties now because Goldar's making it rain putties. Make it rain. Make
just
it
shuffling
rain.
them out.
Yeah. And so they're fighting some putties, and then Scorpina and Goldar are in a fraction of a second of a shot. And they go, oh no, Goldar and Scorpina, we gotta even the odds, let's morph. And then they morph. And it's actually a really good match because the camera turns around to see Goldar and Scorpina, and then it cuts back, and it looks like it might be in the same place.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, they're in the park.
Now they're in the desert.
Now they're in the desert. Or like, oh, they're at the water's edge, and then when they turn around to see Madame Woe, she's next to a cliff. Like, it's a pretty good match, and I really like that. Also, like, it was a good use of footage. Like, I feel like every once in a while they hit these like really sweet moments, and like everyone in the editing room high fives each
High
other.
five. Yes.
We did it! We won!
Mike Tenay and Don West style.
Yeah. Anyway, so Lord Satan pops up. First of all, Ugly Man shows up, so they had to morph.
Because Jason just says, "We're gonna get you, ugly
Get
man."
you, Ugly Man. Good one, Jason. So you're the funny guy. Oh wait, you're not the funny guy. You're just the leader. Stop trying to be the funny guy, Jason. They get in. They bring them together. They get into the Zords, bring them together.
Yes.
And even this sequence, which is a very short. It's not a very shortened version, but a very slightly shortened version of the whole bring the Zords together sequence, still feels like it took 5.5 minutes.
Right.
And even normally when they have long sequences like that, the episode feels really short because like I just
Right.
kind of tune out and I fixed some notes during those sequences. But this still took a long time and felt like it took a long time. And the whole episode took so long. This episode is going to go long by virtue of the fact
That the episode that we watched felt so long.
It was so dense that like It's a little overwhelming. Anyway, so Ugly Man's there. They fight him for about 1 second, and then Lord Satan comes down in a meteor and knocks out the sun. But unlike last time they knocked out the sun, Green with Evil Part 4? Part
3.
No, Part 4.
Eclipsing Megazord.
Eclipsing Megazord. Is that 3?
Yes. Who cares?
Because 3 was Jason's battle. So, I think. I don't know.
2 was Jason's battle.
Maybe it was. No, 3 was Jason's battle because they get him back.
And they eclipse the
then they
Megazord.
lose.
You're right. Okay.
So the last time this happened, episode 20, the Megazord ran out of juice pretty quick.
Just fell over.
Because
and
it's
stopped.
solar powered. This time,
They
it
fixed
isn't. Billy had some time to work on
Billy
it.
and Alpha, between classes, I guess, were fixed Megazord.
He's probably got a lot of free periods.
Now he runs off the Morphin grid and not the sun.
Way better power source. There's like infinity Morphin grid units.
Yeah.
There'll
be even more if
Morphin
we
watts.
would get some ratings and reviews for the Morphin grid, because then we would get featured more and we'd get more power.
That's a very not shoehorny way to do that.
Nope. Very natural.
Supernatural. Then Zordon calls Tommy. He's like, Rangers are in trouble. Like always, you need to help. And Tommy's like,
help. It's a good thing Rita made you, huh?
Tommy's like, there's 2 dumb kids who won't leave. What do I do? And he's like, oh, Ernie, can you watch these kids? Ernie is sitting there with a plastic plate that has been shattered. And this is like the saddest he's ever looked. He's like trying to put the plate back together. And he's just like, nope, broken, definitely.
And then Tommy's like, hey, Ernie, can you watch these kids for me? And he's just like, yeah. Yeah, go be a Power Ranger.
Because he might know by now.
I'm pretty sure he does.
I haven't seen any
Because the word of God, which for those of you not familiar with TV tropes, means that the creators said it.
The creators said it, yeah.
Is that's why he gives them free drinks all the time.
Right, it's because they saved the world on a
because he
daily
knows they're
basis.
the Power Rangers.
So I have the only problem with this theory. It's not a theory; it's confirmed. The only problem with this is I haven't seen it yet. They haven't seen the point, where like he figures it out.
Right? Are you
So-
sure? I could have sworn we talked about this way earlier.
There was one way earlier, but ever since then,
Oh, he just knows now.
I feel like that might have been a misstep, though.
Maybe if it aired out of order, it could still happen later in the future.
No, we're at the point where they've kind of sunk up, for now anyway.
Right.
So it's really the first 16 episodes are just like, first episode is the first episode. Everything else,
Well, because
who
what
knows?
happens in those that they need to be in order?
There aren't any.
Nothing.
So, and I was taking a note, so I don't really remember
Oh, I might.
what happened. Tommy calls the Dragon Zord.
Oh, the Rangers are getting their butt kicked by Skinless Frankies.
Yeah.
By Ugly Man. I'm
By
gonna start
Ugly
calling
Man.
him Ugly Man.
Yeah. Ugly Man gets turned into a demon by Lord Satan.
Yeah, his head
Lokar.
splits open and a different head
And like
comes
a
out of it.
snake head thing.
And then
comes
he
out.
has like a little Lord Satan on his
Yeah,
stomach.
he becomes this weird eldritch abomination type thing because of Lokar. Like, I guess
Yep.
it's creepy because I
Well,
like.
Lokar, I think casts a spell, and he's like, behold the power of Lokar.
Oh, that'd be really cool if like his power was that he just made bad guys like
Well, because other than that, he's just...
a floating head in the sky.
But he's like he's like the idea of a floating
Right,
head
yeah.
in the sky that can breathe ice.
There's like a memory of a floating head. Did we see a floating head in the sky?
It might just be
think-
clouds.
I think we might have.
This monster's really ugly and he's beating the crap out of us.
We should really worry about the task at hand. Zach. I don't know why Zach is the one with his head in the clouds now. So then they hear the fight song. This is a weird thing that happens. The
He plays them backwards.
Yeah, and then that sort of summons it.
That
it doesn't,
summons it because like the Megazord's down and getting beat up, and then
Right.
you hear the and then it cuts to Tommy playing the flute, and then like he talks to them for a minute, and
Yeah,
then finally Dragon Zord's like,
Jason-
oh, he wants me to come out.
Yeah, Jason's like, oh, Tom is here.
Tommy's like, you got it, buddy, and then
Gung ho.
we got a gung ho against Ugly Man. That's not what that means.
That's not what that means.
And I know it's not just me, because Carrie used it at work the other day in the way that it's like he's really got a go get him attitude.
Yeah.
Not a he works well with others.
Maybe in 1993 it meant something different.
I don't think it did. I think it was only for that episode of Power Rangers that it ever meant teamwork.
I'd like to be in that writers' meeting. I don't know. We shouldn't be talking about an episode that happened 2 episodes ago for us, but like in that writers' meeting, they're like, "All right, we need to think of a thing that will inspire them." And someone's like, "Gung ho," and they're like, "Yeah." What's that mean? And then someone's like, "Teamwork." And they're like, "Nobody do any research. We're going with teamwork." Like,
we're gonna make it a thing. We're gonna sell gung ho T-shirts,
or they're like, gung ho, and they're like, doesn't that mean like go get them? And they'll be like, kids are stupid, they don't know that. And Saban's like, you're right. Put it on T-shirts.
We get a catchphrase, but then we won't use it anymore.
But then when it doesn't work immediately, yeah. So they beat up Ugly Man Plus because he's
right, because he's leveled up.
Yeah. So
Ugly Man final form.
They're beating him up. They're not winning though. They're just not.
Well, like they're fighting him. They're both. It's the Megazord and the Dragonzord.
Right.
Jason's like, yeah, let's get him now, and like they go in to get him, but Ugly Man is like hitting them. Like he's dodging them and the sparks, and he's swiping at their chests, and the sparks are coming out of the good guys.
Right.
So they're not beating him up. They're attacking him but losing.
Right. And then they get sprayed with toxic shaving cream,
which causes them to fall out of the Zords onto the Island of Illusion.
Yes. Here's I have a weird thing about this. Shaving cream sends you to the Island of Illusion. Fine. It's not the weirdest thing that's happened on Power Rangers.
It wasn't shaving cream, it was toxic foam.
That's the other weird thing. Why does Jason call it toxic foam?
It's just buzzwords, so kids will be like, oh no, not toxic foam.
Valid reason.
It's toxic, it's bad.
But like toxic is like specifically like poisonous.
It slowly saps your energy. In Pokemon terms.
By sending you
it's like it's disabling the Zords by sapping their energy.
It's not corrosive. It's not acidic.
Nope.
It just literally covers them, and Jason goes, "It's toxic." Like he did an analysis on it really quick. Like,
I think Jason is like, he's not stupid, but we've talked about this.
Yeah,
before.
Jason is just smart enough to be dangerous.
This foam was on the Megazord, and it was making it weird.
And so he went.
So he was like, "Oh my god, toxic foam, you guys!"
Also, is there a less threatening substance than foam? Can you think of something that you could get sprayed with that you would worry less about than foam?
Phloem?
No, because
it's like really light and fluffy.
It's not though. It's like a
Phloem is man. It's the little beads.
Yeah, but it's like it's not light. It's certainly not fluffy.
Not fluffy,
It's
but I
sticky.
remember it being light. I don't remember it being very.
It's not. It
weighty.
isn't very heavy, but it's not like foam is still lighter because there's no liquid in it,
right?
You know, or it is sort of. It's an aerated thing, but like I feel like foam is like the least like worrying substance.
Well, the only thing that
like gunk or
like,
goo or really anything.
I mean, like if he was shooting like cotton at them, it would. Like foam at least has the fact that it's kind of wet going for it.
Yeah, and I guess
so. I mean, I'm not saying it's a super threatening substance,
right.
But it's not
acid, but it's definitely it could be worse.
Like
no, he's sending butterflies at us. They did that once,
and it was awful.
And it was terrible. It made a bunch of kids pass out, and then Zach just left. They fall out of the Megazord onto the Island of Illusion.
You can tell they're not landing on Earth because as they fall, it's dark. It's
dark.
A black
they
background.
They are falling through some sort of portal or something. They're falling through the foam.
Which, like, this is a heck of a time for Tommy to decide to stand on the Dragonzord.
Right?
Because usually he just commands it from the rooftop.
From, like, way away from there, yeah. And he would have been like, oh, that's bad. Whatever. Because, like, I don't know how they're going to handle it in part 2, but, like, now they have 2 problems. Number 1, they're trapped on the Island of Illusion. Number 2, giant Ugly Man Plus and Lord Satan and anything else Rita can make are just running amok on the planet. Oh, no,
Rita sent them to the Island of Illusion, so she pulled them back.
She's so stupid. We don't
They
know
won't
that.
be back until the Rangers come back.
We don't know that. Like maybe, and I know that they're probably not just destroying the
No,
world.
either that or they're just standing where they are.
They're just high fiving for hours.
Lucar's like, so
we
they
did
called
it.
you ugly man. He's just like, yeah.
Yeah. My real name's Lord Satan. Oh, it's way cooler. I know, right? Should have stuck
I'm
with
just
that.
a skinless Frankenstein.
I'm literally just a head.
It's the idea of a head.
I'm what a. I'm
It's such a weird thing that he's just a faded head in the
I
sky.
feel like it's not supposed to be like the idea. It's supposed to like show that he's omnipresent. Like you can't escape him
Right.
because he is the background of the world.
He's the
You know?
sky.
Yeah, like. But it comes across as like, did we see a head?
Right.
I don't know.
He's an illusion.
He's an illusion. He looks like an illusory head. There's like a really quick scene with Zordon and Alpha being like, "Oh no, oh crap, Alpha, they're stuck on the island of illusion. I can't get them because I don't feel like it." They don't teach him a lesson.
Well, no, they're out of
punk
his...
kids.
First of all, he's out. He's watching them the whole time,
Yes,
and they're on the island of illusion, which is out of his reach. Fine, it's a different dimension. Who knows how that works?
right. There, we
but
have-
he could have grabbed him way before they got sent there.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
a bad mentor.
He's so bad. He is the Professor X. Like Professor X is like a liar, a manipulator, a terrible person on like a base level. Like he uses his telepathy in like the first or second issue, maybe the third one of X-Men. Like back in the 60s to straight up solve the problem by wiping someone's brain clean. Like the bad guy. He's like, no more brain. So like Professor X is not a good person, and neither is Zordon. Zordon is like
Right.
the 90s equivalent of that. And he's like, I'm going to teach these kids how to grow up to kill Rita. There's going to be worse things, and I need them to be ready. So I'm going to let them fall onto islands where there's no help, and I'm not going to warn them about things that I definitely could warn them about.
right.
It's he picked teenagers because they wouldn't ask too many questions.
Right.
He didn't pick like adults who go, wait a minute.
Why
wanna
are you being such a jerk?
Yeah, I understand that you want to save the world, right? That's fair. Why
aren't you helping us?
Why aren't
do
you
that?
helping us at all in any way? Like you're not even like sending us emails about like BT Dubs. I'm watching Rita because I have that power. She's planning this monster. Stop what you're doing, or tie up some loose ends, or just don't be caught off guard. You know, even something as simple as like I saw her steal your spinning wheel because you know he did,
Right.
and he just went could be anything.
They'll figure it out. They'll have to use their morals and whatever to figure out the thing.
Anyway,
Ugh.
so confidence. Zordon says confidence is the only thing that can save him. Which is Zach picked a terrible week to be me. They get to the island. Like the first thing they do is like they're like, oh well, we seem to be fine. And Billy says some Billy speak, and then they're like, we got here intact. And Zach's like, well, not all the way. We're missing our communicators. I was like, our wrists. We got no wrists. Oh god. It was our communicators, and they're like, oh, and our power coins. What are we gonna do? They're like, let's just wander around this island for a little while till we get thirsty and tired. Terrible survival skills. So they're walking around. At one point, Kimberly just goes, scary!
Yep.
Because of the woods. I guess because she's a girl, obviously.
Ugh, she's in the wilderness.
And there's a Komodo
No
dragon.
no hair curlers out here.
Certainly not. She doesn't really curl her hair.
She does.
No
Well, I mean,
hair,
her bangs a little.
no hair straighteners.
My mom had a hair curler, and she didn't curl her hair. She just like curled her bangs in a little with it.
So I see a Komodo dragon. Like I said,
It's like
and it's like
the Komodo dragon is like stock footage from a nature show. It doesn't
Right.
match any of the American or Japanese shot footage. It's like its
No.
own quality.
yeah, it looks like Australian footage.
Right. It's like a National Geographic thing.
Yeah, but it's just a
God.
Komodo dragon,
God.
and they don't even worry about it. I don't know if they noticed the Komodo dragon
I think the Komodo dragon is to show us how exotic this island is.
and how terrifying.
Scary.
That happened before the Komodo dragon. Then they're walking through like a path in the woods, and there's like a guy standing there.
Well,
But they straight up don't notice.
Kimberly says it feels like these bushes have eyes, and then like 10 seconds later, it shows him
Just
not in the
standing there.
bush. He's like in between some tree branches.
Yeah, like he's not off the path. He's like right there, just watching them. but he's super camouflaged, I guess.
Magic.
Illusions. Zach is seeing things. Why did I write that? Do you remember what Zach was seeing?
Zach doesn't.
Zach says,
He says, "Oh, I thought I saw something." It was
the
guy, and he was like, "I thought I saw." Ah, never mind. And then immediately he sees him.
He sees him.
They hear the flute.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I knew it."
I just didn't believe in
he
myself.
Goes from, I thought I saw. Never mind. I knew it. I knew I saw something.
It's because you didn't have confidence in himself.
It took like 10 seconds for him
It's all tying back around. Look, low confidence is it strikes anywhere. It's weird.
Low confidence.
Low car. That's what his name fully is, but they shorten it to Low Car the Terrible, so he doesn't get beat up.
Low
Evil
car, the
Space
terrible
High.
confidence.
Low Car would have been the assistant principal of Evil Space High. Not the principal, not the vice principal, the assistant principal. He helps the principal out. Vice principal would be something different. Maybe Lord Vile.
Who's the principal?
Zordon. Dun, dun, dun!
Well, then Alpha would have to be the vice principal.
No, because the vice principal... No, Zordon would be the vice principal, because the vice principal is always the bad guy.
Yes.
Because they have to do all like the
They have
punishments.
to do all
and
the
stuff.
bad stuff.
Yeah. So the bad guy would be Zordon, because he would be their bad guy.
No, I think Lordon.
Lordon.
I think Zordon would be the principal because,
But
like,
it's Evil Space High.
right, but he would have like Lord Vile do all the bad stuff so that he doesn't get the bad reputation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I call him Lord Evil just then? I meant Lord Vile.
Look, same letters. Just a
I'm
different order.
dyslexic when I'm talking. I don't know. Maybe I said Vile and now I just sound stupid. Moving on.
Moving on. So they're like, "What is that noise?" And Trina's like, "Whatever it is bad," or something to that effect. So I guess tone deaf or needs to be tuned or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, is that Dulcia from the movie?" But it's not. Have you seen the movie yet?
I mean, forever ago.
Okay.
I haven't seen it since your mom got it for me for Christmas.
That was at least 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
Dulcie is the witch who like spins the
Okay.
things and makes a lot of noise, scares Tengu away. But I was like, oh man, if they don't show what the noise is, in my head it's Dulcia, and then they show the noise and it's just Quagmire playing the flute bad, I guess. Quagmire is a little person who speaks in rhymes and does not trust the Power Rangers because he thinks Rita sent him.
Because
trick
Kimberly
'em.
says something like, "Oh, hey," like she's mid sentence. She's like, "Rita," and he's like, "Whoa, get out!
Liars!
I don't
You're
trust
all
you because
liars!"
Rita."
And then he speaks in rhymes, which is always annoying to me because it's never good. The only rhyming sentence structure that's ever been good is like one version of the demon Etrigan, and I don't expect you to know who that is.
Nope.
It's a DC Comics character, and he was cursed to speak in rhymes, or he was a rhyming demon, and that was like their thing, and then he got broken of that. I don't know. Comics, everybody. But the point is, he rhymed, and it was always bad and corny, like Quagmire's, and then it was either Neil Gaiman or Grant Morrison who like had the perfect structure for his things, and I was like, oh, this is how all rhyming people should be.
Right.
And nobody ever did that again. Nobody ever took that to heart. This happened way before that, because that was early 2000s, late 90s, somewhere around there. So I understand you not taking Grant Morrison's lessons to heart, writers of this episode. But rhyming is stupid, and it never works. It always sounds corny. Am I alone in thinking that?
No.
Okay. Good. I feel
No.
like I just yelled at you
No,
for a couple
definitely
minutes
not.
about rhyming, and if you're like, I like the rhyming, I'm like, well, now I feel like an idiot.
And it's like it's so stereotypical that a little person has to speak in rhymes. Like
Is that stereotypical? Is that a thing that happens?
it happens a lot. Not stereotypical, but a trope maybe. Like
I like the
because
weird person.
he's a
speaks in-
whimsical
yeah,
little
right,
person,
Yeah.
so he's got to speak
Also,
in rhymes.
his name is Quagmire. Which
Giggity.
is oh, shut up.
I had to do it once. I had to do it.
A quagmire is like a swamp,
Yep. And he was playing flute next to
a lake,
a pretty clear lake.
Pretty lake. They could have named it. They did. At least they didn't name him something super Irish, like Seamus Fitzpatrick or something. Which is the
But
name.
they couldn't think of a better whimsical
Weird
name
name
than
than Quagmire?
Quagmire.
It's got a Q in it, which is always weird. But like, I don't know. The episode got weird as soon as they landed on the side.
Quincy would have been fine. Like
Quincy.
just Quincy. His name's just Quincy.
It would have been great if he had a really regular name. If he's like Dave,
Dan.
yeah, tie it all in. They'd be like, "Who are you?" You'd be like, "I'm Dan," and they'd be like, "Dan, that's kind of a regular name." He's like, "What's that supposed to mean?" Throwback to Power Rangers.
Your name's Jason.
Your name's Jason.
There's like a million of those. Zach.
Zach. The only one who has a different name is Trini. You're the only Trini in the world.
That might be super popular in China. Who knows?
Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll look it up
I
later.
mean, there's not a lot of girls over there, so
yeah.
sad commentary.
So they run away for whatever, or they leave, or maybe he leaves. I don't remember. It's everything now. Everything is happening so fast.
He doesn't trust them because of Rita, so he vanishes.
And
in
then
a puff of rainbow smoke
And then Goldar is projecting himself on the
sky.
because they're in the arena in the Hunger Games.
He's Gokar
the
now, like Lokar, but he's gold.
Okay, that's dumb.
Whatever. I liked it. I thought it was funny. Email us and tell us what you think.
Yeah, settle this debate for us. I like the idea that this is just a prototype of the arenas from the Hunger Games.
That's stupid.
That is dumb. That's really dumb. He's like, "You're trapped on the island of illusion, Rangers." I don't know how to call Iris the Ultimate Warrior, but
you let him run over you with lawnmowers. Load him up with the rocket fuel.
lay down on the lawn and run you up with lawnmowers on the island of illusion.
Well, he comes up on the sky.
R.I.P. and Peace Warrior.
Tunes into the sky. And he's like, "Are you Rangers missing something?" Gotcha.
And then Zach says my favorite thing of the episode, which might be this. It'll probably be the episode title, which is we got no coins, a tone-deaf little person, and an island full of monsters.
That's when the monster illusions come up. That's like 15 seconds from now.
You're right.
Because Goldar's like, "You're on the island of illusion." Blah! And then like 6 monsters pop up. It's Pudgy Pig, Eye Guy, Shell Shock, and 3 more. The flower thing. Spitflower. There's definitely 2 more. I don't remember who they are. But that's when he says it.
Right, yeah. An island full of monsters would be terrible. Because they don't have their power coins, so they can't. They just get beat up by monsters until they die.
Yep.
Like that's how that would work. Also, if this thing is called the Island of Illusion, and he specifically says that, you think they'd have the presence of mind to go, "Oh, maybe some things here aren't real," like these monsters that we've killed, or
because Trini says that because he's like, "Oh, all that stuff in an island full of monsters," and Trini's like, "Yeah, monsters that we thought we beat up, or that we thought we beat or defeated." She doesn't say killed,
right?
Because it's a kid's show, I guess.
Right, but they definitely kill them. They explode, so it's pretty definitive. Till later when they make more, then they just keep coming back. We'll talk about that way later.
I really want to see the Frankenstein.
How he got his skin ripped off? Yeah.
Because when Frankenstein died, it was because he got gored by the dragon drill.
And he exploded into pieces, but what if he just lost his skin?
What if this is just like a zombie Frankenstein?
Isn't Frankenstein just a zombie?
Sort of. It's like a zombie of a zombie.
It's 2 zombies deep.
Yeah.
Too fast, 2 zombie. 2 zombie, 2 furious.
That's better.
Yeah.
Still not great, but it's better.
I'll work on it. Zombie.
Well, those are all the options.
Zombie 2, zombie harder. Zombie 2, electric boogaloo.
Moving right along.
Zombie in the Chamber of Secrets.
We're moving right along now.
Okay. So Zach sees a bunch of monsters. Well, they all see a bunch of monsters. Zach, whose confidence has leaked out and it's all over the floor of the juice bar, runs away. Very Power Rangers.
The monsters,
even though his trait is brave. One of his traits is brave.
But he doesn't have any confidence anymore because he's really good at dancing and Bulk is bad at it.
And that makes him have no confidence. I don't know what's happening in this episode. This is a super long episode of the Morphin Grid, by the way, because of all this crap that happened. Hopefully the next one makes up for it. It's really short and they
Hopefully.
even out. But anyway, so he runs away and then suddenly, snakes! Invisible snakes! And he does the thing we talked about earlier where he opens his mouth all the way and stares at it and screams until someone comes and helps him. He gets paralyzed with fear, apparently from snakes too, which there wasn't a snake monster, was there?
Not yet.
Did we fight Snizzard already?
No, not yet.
We didn't fight Snizzard. That's a Zed monster.
That's a Zed monster.
Snizzard is a lizard
Snake.
It's mostly a snake. I don't know why there's a lizard part of it, because it's a snake body.
But it has limbs.
With two snakes for arms, which are different snakes, and then it walks on two piles of snakes. Its legs are literally piles of snakes.
It's a lizard made out of snakes. I guess.
Anyway, nobody else can see the snakes because Zach is... They're illusions
Right,
on this island.
Because they're trying to calm him down. They're like, dude, look, there's no snake there. Come on, dude. And Billy's like, oh, man, I bet the island is using our worst fears against us. Oh, no. And then Zach is just like, I hate snakes. Ah! And then
he says something to the effect of, like, I hate him the most, which, didn't you hate bugs the most, Zach?
In the bug episode, it's a different episode.
They couldn't have found a bug?
Nope.
Maybe he got over the fear of bugs.
Right, because they fought Spider-Man.
But then he didn't, because Tommy's like, it's a fake one, and you're still terrified.
And he looked at it and went, ah!
Makes a John Cena guppy face.
I need a better adult.
He's a teenager, so he just needs an adult.
Well, I mean, Zach is a teenager.
Yes. Walter Jones is probably in his early 20s.
Yeah.
Billy's almost a dad. He's almost dad
He's
age.
almost 40.
Yeah.
No, he's not that old.
No, in Zeo, he straight up turns into a dad. He dressed like a dad. He looks like a dad.
At the end of Mighty Morphin Season 3, he turns into a man.
Yeah.
He goes from looking kind of like he could be a teenager to being a man.
Being a man. Drank some...
Man juice?
What was that called? Power Thirst?
Yes.
Yes. He drank...
the gun flavor.
Gun flavor. The next note I have is, this is a long episode. Because at this point, I feel like we've been watching it for 40 minutes and with no end in sight.
At this point, we're an episode and a half into this episode.
Yeah. Then they're like, we can't doubt ourselves because we'll die. Or like they had some...
Well, Zach is like, I hate snakes the most. Ah! And then he like backs away. And then like he starts to fade out a little bit.
Right.
And then like Kimberly's like, Zach, you're disappearing. I think I got Kimberly.
Yeah, Kimberly's getting good, yeah.
And then Goldar is still in the sky.
Right.
Or back in the sky. I don't know if he left or not.
He turned the sky camera back on.
Or are we back? Oh, Power Rangers! If you give in to your lack of self-confidence, then you'll disappear forever!
Well, he doesn't say that. Quagmire does. Quagmire pops in and goes,
oh, yeah.
If you don't conquer your feels, you'll disappear. I don't know why I said feels. It tried to be an R, but my tongue got caught, okay?
No, happens to me all the time. I understand.
So no confidence makes you disappear on this island, which is bad news. There's also, a second ago, there's snakes, and it like fades out, and Josh is like, we're going to have to deal with this next episode, and then it fades back in, and I'm like, or we'll deal with it right now!
Yeah, I went to commercial to come back for about 2 minutes. We're almost done.
Yeah, it's just about done. So then, Quagmire pops in to be a dink and be like, "Oh, you gotta believe in yourself, dummy," and then disappears.
But why is he helping them? Because
didn't he not trust them one second? Maybe he saw Goldar yelling at them and he was like, "Oh, they're not here because they want to be.
Right?
They're not here to trick me. They've been tricked and now they're here.
Yeah,
they've already been pranked. Now they're here.
Started in Megazord. Now they're
here. And then you fade away forever. Then the episode ends. Finally.
To be continued.
Oh, God. I hope the next episode is not this long.
I don't feel like it will be because it'll be structured like a regular episode. It'll be them on the island.
They need to get
They get off the island, fight monster, win battle.
right.
So
I hope. I don't want to say final thoughts on this episode because we've talked so much about
they're
this
in
episode.
there. Listen to the episode, you'll hear them.
Those are all the thoughts I have on this episode. Power Rangers, don't do this anymore, please. Please don't have these super dense episodes. I know it's really cool. It's fun to watch them, but from a when I have to analyze it and then talk about it to people, it's hard because I don't remember all this stuff and my notes weren't even that long. There's just so much that happened. It's overwhelming. I don't know how to deal with it.
I'd say we'll get better, but I think we're about as good as we're going to be at this. So
There's room for improvement, but not.
But that doesn't mean we're going to improve.
But not as much as we have already.
Right.
We've already made the big leap, and I don't think we're going to get noticeably better in the future. I think this is pretty much as good as it gets.
Anyway, thank you for bearing with us through this.
For trucking through this.
Hopefully our episode is still entertaining.
Yes, if there's a God in this world, it'll be under an hour, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
So, morphingrid.tumblr.com, littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, @morphingrid on Twitter. We're on iTunes if you want to leave us a rating or review. I'm tired and sweaty.
Yeah, I want you to turn that air conditioner back on.
So, thank you for listening. If you're still listening, thank you for sticking with us. Hopefully you found something to do while you were listening to this. And until next time,
may the power protect you. By mimicking him. This is an awful episode. I'm sorry, you guys.
It's fine. We're doing fine.